All right, let's just get right into it. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are totally going to transform the way you interact with AI. We're taking a massive leap today from just, casual back and forth chatting to building professional, highly reliable, and fully automated systems using Claude. If you've been using Claude as just a basic sounding board, well, you're really only scratching the surface. Today, we're unpacking the official documentation, prompt engineering best practices, and real-world use cases to give you a true leveling up toolkit.
So here's our roadmap for today. 1. Foundations of effective prompting. 2. XML tags and role assignment. 3. Strategies to reduce hallucinations. And 4. Automating workflows with routines. Let's do this.
Starting right off with Section 1, Foundations of Effective Prompting. I absolutely love this quote straight from the official Anthropic API documentation. Think of Claude as a brilliant but new employee who lacks context on your norms and workflows. Honestly, you can sometimes even think of it as a brilliant but maybe slightly lazy employee if you don't give it quite enough direction. Once you internalize this, your prompting is going to instantly improve. The golden rule here? If you show your prompt to a human colleague who has zero context on the task and they'd be confused by your instructions, well, Claude is going to be confused too. Precision, clarity, and directness are absolutely non-negotiable.
And look at how this perfectly illustrates our first major technique. Instead of giving a negative constraint, like, hey, do not use Markdown, you give an affirmative instruction. Something like, your response should be composed of smoothly flowing prose paragraphs. Claude actually performs significantly better when you tell it exactly what you want it to do rather than what it should avoid. So always default to affirmative, specific formatting instructions.
Moving right along to Section 2, XML tags and role assignment.
Fun fact, Claude models are actually fine-tuned using XML tags. So by wrapping your instructions, your examples, and your input data in standard tags, you're making it incredibly easy for the model to parse completely unambiguous requests. It cleanly separates your actual instructions from the raw data it needs to process. It's kind of like giving Claude a perfectly organized filing cabinet instead of a messy pile of papers.
Now, to gain maximum control, you're going to want to combine these techniques. Start by setting a system persona, something like you are an expert content writer. Then provide your target text inside an XML tag, and crucially, define the exact XML output structure you need back. The role anchors the tone and the expertise, and that defined structure, that guarantees you get the exact categorization format you requested, completely ready to be plugged into a larger system or database without any headaches.
So what does this all mean for us practically? Why does this matter? Well, by combining clear instructions, roles, and those XML tags, users are building repeatable, rock-solid systems. We're talking about businesses automating lead generation follow-ups, meticulously cleaning messy contact lists by filtering out unqualified job titles, and creating standard, reusable templates for onboarding emails or social media posts. The strict structure literally takes the guesswork right out of the AI's response. It's a real game changer. Okay, on to Section 3, Strategies to Reduce Hallucinations. If we want high-stakes accuracy, we really need to define our enemy here. A hallucination is when an AI model generates text that is factually incorrect or just completely inconsistent with the provided context. When you're using AI for stuff like legal summarization, medical research, or code deployment, hallucinations completely undermine the reliability of your whole workflow. You see, AI models are eager to please, and sometimes that eagerness leads them to just confidently make things up.
The fix here is implementing intentional safeguards into your prompts to firmly ground the responses. Think of it like a sequential checklist. First, if you're tossing a massive, say 20,000-word document at Claude, ask it to extract word-for-word quotes first before it tries to summarize anything. Second, make it verify its claims with specific citations from the text. You want to make the response highly auditable so you never, ever have to blindly trust the output. Honestly, this next one might be the simplest, yet most ridiculously effective technique we have. Just give Claude explicit permission to admit when it's unsure. By simply dropping a phrase like, if you're unsure about the answer, it's okay to say I don't know, right into your prompt, you drastically reduce the chance of the model fabricating information just to make you happy.
For the really advanced verification stuff, you've got to use the chain of thought technique. This means literally instructing Claude to explain its reasoning step by step inside a dedicated thinking XML tag before it provides the final answer. It's basically like asking a student to show their work on a complex math test. This forces the model to logically map out its process, which significantly reduces errors in math, logic, and deep analysis. Plus, it lets you inspect exactly how it arrived at its conclusion.
And finally, Section 4, automating workflows with routines. So how do we actually put Claude on autopilot? Enter routines. A routine is essentially a saved Claude Code configuration. That's your prompt, your connected repositories, and your tools packaged up once and set to run automatically. And the best part? These routines execute on Anthropic-managed cloud infrastructure. That means they keep working totally autonomously even when your laptop is completely shut and in your backpack. So how exactly do we trigger them?
Well, there are basically 3 ways to trigger a Claude Code routine autonomously. First up, scheduled triggers. These run on a recurring cadence, like every night at midnight, or a one-off future timestamp. Second, API triggers, which run on demand via an HTTP POST request right from your internal tools. And third, GitHub triggers that automatically react to events like a new pull request. Keep in mind, these run entirely autonomously. There's no permission mode picker waiting around for your approval.
Routines are just absolutely perfect for unattended, repeatable work that's tied to clear outcomes. Imagine this, an alert triage routine. Your system monitoring tool spots an error and automatically triggers your routine via the API. Claude instantly pulls the stack trace, correlates it with your recent GitHub commits, and actually opens a draft pull request with a proposed fix. By the time you wake up, pour your coffee, and open your laptop, the on-call review is literally already prepped. Or imagine a nightly backlog maintenance routine that auto-labels and assigns issues while you sleep. No way you'd want to do that manually anymore.
Setting the whole shebang up from the Cloud Web Interface is surprisingly straightforward. You name it, you select your repositories, set up your network access, and pick your trigger. But, and this is a big but, pay incredibly close attention to the very first step, writing the prompt. Because the routine runs autonomously in the cloud without you there to hold its hand or correct it, your prompt is absolutely the most important part. It has to be completely self-contained, utilizing all that XML structuring and those affirmative instructions we went over earlier.
Wow, we've walked all the way from basic text instructions to robust XML tag formatting to implementing anti-hallucination safeguards and finally to scheduling fully autonomous cloud routines. You officially have the full toolkit. So my final challenge to you is this. Take a hard look at your daily repeatable tasks. What is the very first automated workflow you're going to build today? Dive in, experiment, and let Claude handle the heavy lifting for you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy building!